Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And we're starting with some breaking news this morning as police are investigating a shooting in Durham. What we're learning right now as officers work to piece this together.
And a mild start to our Friday. Just a few passing clouds watching this front to the north and west. That could bring a chance for showers and storms. Ahead of it, record warmth. I'll let you know how warm we'll get today.
Oh, the travel rush begins. Spring break is kicking off today, and so are long lines at airports across the country. What travelers are seeing right now at RDU before you head out. Well, we appreciate you waking up with us dark and early on this Friday morning on WRAL News. It is 4:30. I'm Chris Lovingood. We'll go ahead and swing into our weather to let you know how things are starting off with meteorologist Grant Skinner. Grant, it's quiet, but we could see some activity later today.
That's right. More clouds late today, a chance for some showers and a few storms ahead of a cold front. So some changes throughout the day. Also record warmth ahead of that front as well. I want to start with this view from one of our new cameras. We're getting our weather from the Well, new complex there near downtown. Looking towards downtown, it is pretty quiet. Again, just a few clouds this morning. Temperatures mild in the low to mid 60s, 65 in Raleigh, 63 in Fayetteville, 64 in Rocky Mount, 64 in Roxborough. I doubt we'll drop much more than that throughout the course of this morning. 64 by 8 a.m. Then by the afternoon, mid to upper 80s, record warmth possible, a chance for rain late today. We'll talk more about the timing of that rain with Futurecast and also how cool will be for the weekend. That's all coming up.
Sounds good, Grant. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Let's get back to that breaking news. I-85 South is back open near the I-40 split after a crash overnight. And the WRAL breaking news tracker was there as teams were working to remove a tractor trailer that appeared to have crashed. Now, the crash happened around 1 this morning and the lanes reopened just about 30 minutes ago. Another breaking story. Police in Durham are investigating an overnight shooting on South Roxborough Street. Let's go ahead and bring in Ali Kablabar at the Durham Police Department this morning. Ali, we are trying to get more information from police this morning. Tell us what else you've learned.
Yeah, right now, Durham police are combing through that evidence that they gathered at the scene, trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. We do want to show you this scene. This video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows it. It happened after 11:30 last night on South Roxborough and Cornwall Street near Charles Street. You can see police tape and officers collecting evidence. We also saw forensics possibly taking a photo of a car. Now, we are working to find out if anybody got hurt, how many people were involved in this, and if any arrests have been made. We are staying on top of this story. Reporting live in Durham, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Well, spring break travel is about to get started as we are going to give you a live look at RDU and the roads in Wake County this morning. Today, Wake County schools have their last day of school before vacation. This is happening as some airports are seeing the longest security lines in TSA history. WRAL's Monica Casey is on this story this morning. She's at the airport. And Monica, it's not every airport that's seeing significant lines, but it is happening. What's RDU looking like this morning?
Good morning, Chris. RDU is looking okay this morning. Take a look at this TSA line here behind me. I've been watching it and it is moving. I mean, we have been following this story all week, but it's especially important right now with spring break coming up. Now, scenes from other airports like Atlanta and Houston have shown serious issues. President Trump announced yesterday he plans to sign an executive order calling for payment of TSA agents. I spoke with Mac Johnson, the president of the local chapter of the American Federation of Government Employees, about what is happening. He tells me they have seen 7 TSA employees at RDU alone resign in the last week and a half. TSA officers missed their first full paychecks back in mid-March.
They're thinking about, how will I pay my rent? How will I pay my mortgage? How will I pay for childcare? How will I pay for something as simple as a flat tire?
Johnson tells me if there isn't a solution, he expects this issue to get worse with higher call-outs and resignations, and that could lead to longer wait times and the possibility of compromised security. Now, here at RDU, Johnson suggests getting here 3 hours before your flight instead of the usual 2 hours before, just to be safe. Live at RDU, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Now, a federal judge is upholding North Carolina's voter photo ID law, and that ruling could end legal fights over voter IDs going back more than a decade. Republican lawmakers' first attempt in 2013 was ruled unconstitutional for racial discrimination. And after the legislature made changes, voter ID has been allowed in North Carolina since 2023. WRAL state government reporter Will Doran says this ruling's effect won't be felt as strong as some people might think.
Nothing is going to change for voters in North Carolina. We've been using voter ID since 2023. There's been a lot of elections in those 3 years, and every time we have seen that there are a few ballots that do get thrown out because people don't have an acceptable form of ID, but it's a very small number.
The NAACP says that it will continue exploring legal options to block that law. Today, a Fayetteville man who was shot and killed over the weekend will be laid to rest. Fayetteville police say that 18-year-old Harrison Anderson was trying to break up an argument at a house party, and that's when he was shot. He died hours later. 17-year-old Justice Miller is charged with his murder. The Cumberland County District Attorney's Office says Miller will be charged as an adult, and Harrison's funeral is set for 1 p.m. today at the Cape Fear Conference A headquarters in Irwin. Wilson police say they arrested a 15-year-old boy in connection with a deadly shooting of a 14-year-old boy. Police say that 15-year-old is charged with involuntary manslaughter and possession of a stolen firearm. That shooting happened just before 9 o'clock Wednesday night. What you're seeing right here is video from that scene on Woodside Drive. That was when the WRAL breaking news tracker arrived. And this is where police found the boy who was shot. He was taken to the hospital, and that's where he died. WRAL is trying to learn the name of a man charged with shooting and killing a woman near Knightdale. The Wake County Sheriff's Office says 43-year-old Jessica Wells died after a man shot her on Broken Arrow Court near Pool Road. The WRAL breaking news tracker was also here, and this was yesterday morning as deputies investigated. The Sheriff's Office has not released any information about a possible motive. Well, Will Wade is now back in Louisiana, and LSU basketball shared this video right here of the now former NC State basketball coach getting off a plane in Baton Rouge. Yesterday, Wade left NC State after just 1 season to take the LSU head coaching job. Wolfpack fans on NC State's campus say that Wade's sudden departure from Raleigh, that's a tough pill to swallow. Fans tell us they thought the future of the team was looking up. It was a close game for the men's basketball team as they lost to Texas in the first 4 of the NCAA tournament. Some students expressed frustration. They say that Wade left the team high and dry, and they're hoping the next coach is in it for the long haul.
He had all these promises that he was going to come, fix our program, get us back into the Final Four, and even maybe get us a championship. And now he's leaving us after we paid a bunch of money to get him over here. So I kind of feel like my tuition was wasted. I feel like my time was wasted, and I'm not very happy with him as a guy.
Well, very blunt but honest opinion from that student there. NC State Director of Athletics Boo Corrigan said Wade resigned through an email from his agent. Corrigan also says that Wade skipped a recent scheduled meeting. And we asked Corrigan if he had any regrets about hiring Wade in the first place.
Do you regret hiring him in the first place?
No. I think going back to this past year, a lot of people are excited about NC State basketball. Right, and excited about what happened this past year. I'm disappointed that it ended the way that it did, more than I am wishing it never happened.
Will Wade wrote on X hours before the news conference. He said, quote, "This was not an easy decision because of how much respect and appreciation I have for this program and the university, but the opportunity to return is deeply personal. It's a chance to go home." The UNC Tar Heels are also looking for a new head coach, and former player Kenny Smith says it's not going to be him. He made that comment while working as a studio analyst during CBS Sports' NCAA tournament coverage.
We could talk about North Carolina, but that vacancy, I thought that was obviously disrespectful. But first of all, Coach Hubert Davis, thank you for your service and what you did for North Carolina basketball.
Smith said this is a tough time for the Tar Heels because when a team fires one person, there's a link to every era of Carolina basketball. Smith says whoever takes that job needs to want to be there for the rest of their career and retire as a Tar Heel. You can follow the developments on these stories on the WRAL YouTube channel, and you'll also find more in-depth analysis on how each team got here, what's next, and possible replacements. Tonight, Duke will play St. John's in the Sweet 16 round of the NCAA's men's basketball tournament. Tip-off is at 7:10 if you want to watch. And if Duke wins, they will face the winner of Michigan State and UConn in the Elite Eight on Sunday. WRAL's Pat Welter and Chris Lee will be in D.C. for Duke's game tonight. You can tune in to our evening newscasts on WRAL for analysis ahead of tonight's game and a breakdown after the final whistle blows. Now, Duke and UNC are both playing Sweet 16 games tonight in the NCAA women's tournament. The Blue Devils play the LSU Tigers in Sacramento, and tip-off is at 10 p.m. Then you have UNC taking on the undefeated, top-seeded UConn. Tip-off for that game is at 5 p.m. in Fort Worth, Texas. Your time this morning is 4:40. Major arrests. A multi-county operation led to dozens of serious charges. How investigators tracked down these suspects.
And if you thought it was warmer yesterday morning, even warmer this morning, around 5 to 10 degrees warmer in most spots across the area. We're in the 60s. We're going to be very warm this afternoon. We'll talk more about that record warmth and how much will cool down after some rain this weekend. That's coming up.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:43 now on this Friday morning. Temperatures starting mild in the low to mid 60s. As I mentioned a bit ago, it's trending much warmer than what we saw yesterday. It's ahead of this cold front. We'll have more record warmth possible into this afternoon. 65 in Raleigh, 64 Roxborough, it's 64 in Rocky Mount and in Smithfield, 63 in Fayetteville. Only a few clouds out there, otherwise very quiet this morning. Another view from the well this morning over downtown. You can see this cold front slowly drifting to the south and east. The majority of the showers and a few storms are well to our north and west, and we'll have a good chance to see that rain late today into early Saturday. The highest rain chance between 10 o'clock and 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. Again, we're going to talk more about this timing with Futurecast and also look at the weekend and how much will warm up again next week. All that's coming up.
We'll forecast in just a bit, Grant. We are getting a new look at the deadly aftermath of a plane crashing into a fire truck at LaGuardia International Airport this week. The NTSB released these photos you're seeing here from the crash site. The agency says it's closely examining the parts from the Air Canada passenger jet, specifically those connected to the steering and control systems. The pilot and co-pilot were killed. Dozens of passengers on that plane were injured. An investigation across several counties has led to the arrest of 16 people. All are now charged with child sex crimes. These people are facing more than 80 criminal charges spanning from sexual exploitation to statutory rape. The 4-day undercover operation in February involved more than 150 officers from 13 law enforcement agencies. Officers posed as minors to gather evidence and eventually make arrests.
Opening. I'm proud that we have them in custody, but to relay to parents over a span of 4 days, we were able to lure so many people. Imagine if a child is unmonitored for 3 weeks. And when you think of Nashville, particularly where the operation took place, although multiple agencies were involved, you don't think of this type of behavior.
The police chief says this operation is not over and there may be more arrests to come. And the investigation involved various law enforcement agencies, including Nashville Police, the Nash County Sheriff's Office, the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office, and others. A brand of furniture straps are being recalled over the risk of falling and hurting children. This affects these 4Kitties plastic tip restraint kits that you see right here on your screen. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the straps can break or degrade, and this could cause children or people who are elderly to get stuck or trapped under pieces of furniture. If you have these kits, you are asked to contact 4Kitties for a free replacement that can be made of stainless steel. Health leaders say that cases of a new COVID variant are growing. It's known as cicada. It's been detected in at least 23 countries, and this variant has also been found in wastewater in more than 24 states. Experts say it's too early to know, though, if it will spread more widely. The Federal Trade Commission is sending nearly $11 million to consumers harmed by a fraudulent credit repair scheme. Here's how it worked. The scheme involved promising consumers who had low credit scores an easy fix for a fee, but it actually lured them into a pyramid scheme. Checks are expected to go out over the next 90 days, and to see if you are eligible, you can visit the FTC's website. Time is running out to weigh in on new mountain biking trails in Wake County. Leaders are asking for public input on the proposed Haley's Branch trails at Lake Crabtree County Park. That includes county leased land and areas connected to Umstead State Park. The survey closes Sunday, March 29th, and you can find a link to share your feedback on the county's website. After being closed for 2 months, Pullen Park reopens to the public on April 1st. It's no April Fool's. It really does reopen. Concessions, playgrounds, and the carousel will be open, and visitors can also hop aboard the new electric-powered train. The train just plugs in like an EV. The charge will last for the entire day, meaning it won't break down for any refueling, or it won't stop for refueling, I should say. I hope it doesn't break down. The park is planning an official celebration for the new train in the coming weeks. The old propane engine is being auctioned off online starting Monday. All right, swinging over to our weather forecast, we've got meteorologist Grant Skinner getting you a look at how the weekend is going to turn out. I mean, we've got some chance for rain at least later on today, but how's the weekend looking, Grant?
The weekend looks pretty good. It'll be breezy on Saturday. We'll have cooler temperatures as well. A big swing from what you'll see today because ahead of the cold front, we could see record warmth. Temperatures reaching the mid to upper 80s this afternoon, so very, very warm. Then that chance for showers and a few storms ahead of a cold front. That's late today into early Saturday. Then quickly cooling off. We'll be a bit breezy today, but even breezier into tomorrow once that front passes. And again, those temperatures really swing for the weekend. This is a view from our WRAL studio tower this morning. Only a few clouds out there. We have the tower lit in blue with only a few clouds. And we won't see that much cloud cover this morning. The majority of the clouds come later today. We're in the low to mid 60s, 65 in Raleigh, 63 Fayetteville, 68 degrees in South Hill. This afternoon, very warm. Record warmth is possible today. 88 in Raleigh, 88 in Fayetteville, 87 in Durham, 85 in South Hill. This is around 20 to 25 degrees above average. If we hit 88 in Raleigh and in Fayetteville, that would break a record in both areas. So very, very warm. Then the cold front swings through. That brings a chance for showers and a few storms. That storm's probably earlier in the evening and then, or I would say earlier in the night, then just showers through early Saturday, then turning much cooler into Saturday and also on Sunday. Here's Futurecast. You can see by 1 o'clock, a few clouds, then more clouds later in the day. Those storms start to pop up around 7, 8 o'clock. Then mainly just showers all the way through the early morning hours on Friday, or on Saturday, I should say, and then quickly cooling off and drying for the rest of the weekend. So temperatures will be much cooler for the weekend. 50s for our highs on Saturday, down to the 30s, low to mid 30s Sunday morning. So much chillier. And look at this, the rebound, mid 80s by the middle of next week. A few showers by late next week as well. We're looking good for the Durham opening night. Temperatures in the 80s by the afternoon Tuesday.
Perfect for baseball, Grant. All right, we're talking about a Hollywood shakeup. A major change is coming to the Oscars, plus a preview of a big new project from a fan favorite star. And hockey with heart. First responders face off on the ice tonight, but it's about more than bragging rights. How this game is changing lives in our community. We're getting a live look this morning at Fenton and Cary. It is quiet. I would hope so. It's 4:53 in the morning. As you're watching WRAL News, available on Hulu and the WRAL app on your TV or your streaming device. From a big change coming to the Oscars to a personal reflection from actress Amanda Peet. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
The Oscars are leaving Hollywood. Beginning in 2029, the Academy Awards ceremony will move from the Dolby Theater on Hollywood Boulevard to the Peacock Theater in downtown LA, where the Emmys and other events have taken place recently. 2029 is also when the Oscars will begin streaming on YouTube. Amanda Peet says she almost didn't have a choice in writing her recent New Yorker essay, revealing she learned she had breast cancer as her parents were both dying.
Maybe because my parents weren't religious, or so I almost feel like it was maybe a way to mark what was happening somehow, or cope with what was happening. But I didn't really have any strategy or anything. It just kind of happened.
I had zero context for what I was about to get into. And
Project Hail Mary star Ryan Gosling has a new project. Variety and Deadline report he's teaming with the Daniels, directors Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, on their first film since their Oscar-winning Everything Everywhere All at Once. No title or description has been released, but Universal says production is set to begin in LA this summer. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Today, a Raleigh-based nonprofit will host a fundraising gala supporting women in crisis. No Woman, No Girl provides everyday essentials to the people who need it. WRAL's parent company, Capital Broadcasting Company, is sponsoring this gala. And our very own Kelsey Coffey has served as a board member for No Woman, No Girl and will co-host tonight's event. That will be held at Raleigh Union Station with doors opening at 6. Raleigh firefighters and police officers are hitting the ice for a very good cause. The Battle of the Badges hockey game returns to Lenovo Center tonight at 7. Admission is free, with donations supporting Hurricane Sled Hockey and The Reason Outdoors, two groups helping veterans, first responders, and athletes with disabilities. Doors for that event open at 6 as well. A group of local organizations are starting up their Oak City Tree campaign, and they're planting trees all over the city, specifically at bus stops. And the goal is to transform the stops into cooler, greener spaces.
You can see from this bus stop here, all they have is a bench. We're planting 2 trees here today. The difference in temperatures can be as much as 20 degrees under a tree versus not under a tree. So we're hoping to bring some more comfort to the people who ride the buses.
They planted 9 trees at 5 bus stops yesterday, with more on the way. Your time is 4:56 this morning as we're following breaking news in Durham. At least 1 person was shot on South Roxborough Street. We're going to take you out to that scene to show you video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Plus, new gruesome details. Savannah Guthrie describes the scene of her mother's house after her mother was kidnapped. The latest ahead of her continued interview released this morning. Plus, there are fun events planned across the Triangle this weekend. We're going to get you a look at WRAL's Out and About Best Bets.